Hey guys, Trevor Hold here. Welcome to another Who Are We podcast. Today I got a special guest with me. Shilpa, how are you today?
Hi, Trevor. I'm good, very good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, good. It's end of the day for me here today in Brisbane, but getting through it. Before we get started, just a little disclaimer: we're recording this session, and we're going to upload it to YouTube and put some promotional stuff on different medias just to create some awareness on it. And I suppose we can just dive straight into it. So who is Shilpa, and what does she stand for?
Yeah, hi. I am Shilpa. I'm from India, and I am a corporate professional who works in the mental health space.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah,
And so your corporate corporate space. What sort of mental health space is that? What
uh,
in business is it?
yeah. The mental health space is like a mental health application which provides a platform to the people to understand them better emotionally, and certain activities for the mindful activities we provide so that it helps in the emotional regulation of a person.
Okay. So basically, what I'm hearing is you're providing tools to people in corporate space to help them function properly in throughout the business, but also in their personal lives as well.
Yeah, it's basically an application where you can take some time. So basically, if I put it here, like we all are so busy in our life, we're always occupied with the stuff we're doing. We're involved with family, be it relationships, with the kids, with our spouses. A lot of stuff always going around us. So I think mental health applications and the mental health platforms, and recently this has come up in India. It has started to come up. Earlier, it was not so much, but now the trend has started, and rather more than trend, I think it's a basic requirement for everybody that we should keep a check on our emotions.
Yep.
And emotion is one thing that actually drives us. This is something that helps us in our day-to-day activities. We have always taken the physical health as a priority for us, because it is, you can say, for physical health we have always been very proactive. We go to doctors, we take care of ourselves, we keep do a regular check, even for our kids also. But when it comes to emotional health, we are, because I think emotional health is nowhere visible. That is why it has not been much talked about it. But if you look deeply to the thing, emotional health is one thing that is driving us all here. When I'm talking to you, when I'm sitting idle, so any activity which we do, emotional health is the backbone of whatever we do in our life. So we usually, because we are so much occupied in fulfilling our duties, our responsibilities, we ignore it. And somewhere down the line, if you're not taking care of it right now, it might come maybe 2 years later, 5 years later, it will show up somehow in your life. And that
Yeah.
can become a habit of we suppress our emotions. If you're feeling sad, and we generally feel, if you're feeling sad, we just ignore it. If we're feeling irritated, we just ignore it, and we go on Instagram, we go on social media, we scroll some reels, and we try to suppress that emotion. Instead of checking from where this emotion is coming, we just only go and try to suppress that emotion and doing something else which we like to do. So I think it is a very thing which we haven't talked about it. And most importantly, yeah, we have to teach our kids also, for that matter, because we are living in a time which is changing. I think earlier the times used to change in like 10 years or 15 years. Now the times are changing within a 2 years time. We can see there's a lot of changes happening. So
Mm.
now is the need of the hour is to we take a tap on our emotional health, and uh, you know take positive steps towards it, and not consider it as a taboo, but something a part of our physical health also.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds quite interesting and a good perspective. So you're trying to take the taboo out of talking about emotions is one thing, but also trying to empower people to acknowledge and be aware of their emotional state and not just suppress it internally or deal with it, but try to investigate some of the where the emotions are coming from. It sounds like that can get quite deep, is it?
Definitely, yeah. Actually, so Trevor, I think one thing which is we need to understand is key when we talk about emotional health, we should take consider the self awareness comes here.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, the self awareness part is lacking in all our aspects. We generally, so if we come to the thing, so you, what do you understand by who are we? Like, if you ask me also, who are we? Like, let's discuss that.
Yeah.
We are just basically, we are what our emotions are. We are what is there in our subconscious mind,
Yeah.
right? So the taboo, our subconscious mind drives us through all the things. So if we talk about emotions, that is why we say there's an element of self awareness is lacking in ourselves.
Yeah.
We do not understand ourselves better. We just understand what our parent tell us, what our kid tell us, what our office colleagues tell us. Whatever they tell about ourselves, we consider ourselves, yeah, I am like that. So if they tell us, it is a very common thing that happens, and it is a
Yeah.
part of a regular happening that happens. If my mother comes and tells me that, you see, you are very, you are not a good person, like in the sense you're very irritating at this time, yeah, why are you always anger at those times? So we consider, yeah, maybe I'm like that. It's like, you, the people put us labels and we take this as a personality. So
Yeah.
ultimately what happens is we do not understand what is a real personality is.
Yeah, and I suppose that's part of this whole concept that I've got, because it sounds to me that a lot of what you're saying about lack of awareness in emotional state, and owning what other people give us. Because I think another example is, oh, you're so cranky, or you're so cranky when this happens or when that happens, rather than understanding why you're cranky or whatever. And like you say, just accepting that, oh yeah, I'm cranky, and that's who I am, and putting it on it. But it sounds like to me that um, your work sort of is based around trying to find people's identity by identifying their emotions and identifying the backbone behind a lot of their identity.
Sorry, I lost you for a minute.
Oh, that's right. No, that's right. It just sounds like you're um with trying to find people's identity through discovering their emotions. It sounds like it's a similar sort of journey. Is to understand yourself, you got to understand your emotions. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, basically, so first thing that is key, we consider ourselves. If people see, I start with a very basic thing. So
Yep.
what I'm trying to say is, if somebody comes and tells me that you're looking nice, then I consider that day, yes, I'm looking nice in that dress. You know,
Yep.
if we need people to validate us all the
Yep.
time that you're looking nice, you're looking beautiful, but why not it comes from inside? Why? Where
Yep.
is that confidence? Where is that no validation required all the times while our attitude is missing in us? So
Yep.
that's what I'm trying to tell. The first thing to understand to go, who are we as a person, is to basically understand our thoughts, our emotions, what makes us happy, what makes us sad, and this is a kind of a self-awareness thing that happens. So whatever happens is whatever. So here comes a bigger role. If you agree with me in this, Trevor, that whatever has happened in our childhood that shapes our future.
Yep.
So
Yep.
whatever our parents tells in the childhood, you are good in this, you are good in not good in this activity, you are good in that this. So how whatever way they have trained us, it has come into our subconscious mind, and our choices define that. So, and trust me, Trevor, not everybody has a good childhood, and it's a
Yep.
fact. We need
Yeah.
to admit it here.
Yeah, yeah, and that's right. And it's interesting that you're relating that to your identity, because that, I suppose, I think we've done about 30 of these podcasts, and there's been several different concepts and different philosophies and different discussions around it. But that's the first time I've actually heard that um, your emotional awareness is creating, your identity, and that's an interesting concept. So you're working in this space. What sort of activities are you doing to help people?
Yeah.
What sort of things are you doing to help people in that space, or what's involved?
So basically, there are very simple few minutes of things of exercises which we can do on a daily basis. Because see, this is not something which will happen to you overnight. Like once you do it and you will get the results. Because it is, I would say, it is in the subconscious mind. 30 years or 40 years of your life has been trained by other people. You have been told about your looks, about your attitude, about your choices, So it takes time, 40 years, I mean, whatever your age is. So
Yeah.
those things will not go in a minute or whatever. But very small steps, and if done on a consistency and on a daily basis, will definitely will improve it, and you will start seeing the changes. And you just have to contribute as minimum as like 10 to 15 minutes on a daily basis, and which you can do any time of the day. Preferably if you do in the morning, activities, simple activities like meditation.
Yeah. Meditation. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you break it down to more simple activities, it could be breathing also.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
So
a
just deep
simple, just,
breathings and hold your breath and yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
People, they take it to yoga, but I think yoga also is all just part of all these things. But you don't, if you are so busy, like super busy moms like me, who don't have any time. I'm like, for I think everybody is busy in this world,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think a lot of responsibilities, always thinking, a lot of competition, a lot of exposure. So we need to shut down ourselves, you know. When we plug in into Insta, we are going through reels all the time. We need to
Yeah.
actually shut down from this world and get into our thoughts at
Yeah.
least 10 to 15 minutes on a daily basis, and
Yeah.
understand what is happening inside us.
Yeah.
Which emotion is overpowering us today? Is it the sadness that is taking me? Is it the loneliness that is taking me? It is the what kind of emotion I'm feeling today.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you, and surprisingly, people don't believe, but even if you just pay attention to your breathing also, you can feel it. You can actually understand it. Yeah, today why I'm feeling so lonely. Why is it happening to me? Let's just close your eyes and understand what has happened the whole day.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
simple activities doing on a daily basis for 10 to 15 minutes can change, bring those changes, and you will start getting hold of your life.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that I will really suggest it. And there are other ways also, like if you can write also, you know, writing is also very good activity.
A
You just,
journal or journal about your feelings
yeah,
or emotions or writing in general.
journal is all, it's all one. Like you can, it's basically the affirmations, the positive thoughts, the thoughts
Yeah.
what you want to feel today. All these things you can write it down on a daily basis in a journal, and then slowly and steadily you will start understanding yourself, and this will happen slowly, steadily. You will you will become an you will not get affected by the outer world so much, and you will start understanding yourself.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So you're saying documenting how you want to feel in the morning. You want to feel happy or you want to feel loved or whatever it is you're trying to achieve. You're writing that down to give you some subconscious
Yeah,
push
first
towards
of
that
all,
feeling.
yeah, just spend few minutes with yourself and you will understand, calm down yourself. You know, it's like
Mm.
when you take a glass of water, you put something in it, your dust is there in the water, then it keeps on shaking, you know. And once
Yeah.
the water is silent, the dust settles down, if you see.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just calm your mind for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Automatically, you will get all the answers. Automatically, you will start to understand yourself, and
Yeah.
things will get into the flow. So
Yeah.
basically, the first and foremost thing is to just calm yourself. Just sit down for 10 minutes. Put
Yeah.
just put attention to your breathing,
Yeah.
and then slowly, steadily, you will get to. And obviously, affirmations and all those things are something that you want. How do you want to feel about yourself? Today I'm feeling confident. Today I'm feeling
Yeah.
happy. So
Yeah.
all these things, if you start doing on a regular basis, you will start getting, all the negative emotions will start going to go out, and
Yeah.
positive things will start coming into it.
Yeah, yeah. So you're doing this first up in the morning. You're sort of in an ideal world. So it sounds like to me, you're just trying to get in the here and the now, in the present. Just focus on yourself rather than any jobs or anything, and achieving that through either meditation or through breathing exercises or what other means of writing or whatever. But you're just trying to be here and now and present with your own self and your own feelings, and just giving yourself that 10 or 15 minutes a day just to reflect on yourself. Um,
Yes.
and you said too, which is interesting because a lot of people, a lot of especially high performance coaches, they sort of talk about a curiosity, and it sounds like that's what you've got with the emotion is a curiosity of where it comes from. Oh, I'm angry. Why am I angry today? Or how come that person made me angry? How can they make me angry? Or
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
or
hmm.
whatever. So you got that constant curiosity about it, and that helps too.
Definitely. So I mean, this happens. Like, even if you are in a scenario, like if you are the small kid also. So even,
Yeah,
when you talk to them, so basically what happens is ki whatever you're feeling, those emotions get vent out somewhere else. You might be, if you don't deal with them, your kid has to deal with it in that case, because sometimes it happens with me also. Like, I'm angry at
yeah,
certain thing,
yeah,
and I don't know how this anger, it at times though I do a lot of meditation now, improved a lot, but I'm telling you a real picture that has triggered me to come to a solution that why it is happening, what
yeah,
triggered me to it. So
yeah,
the thing was that like, if he gets angry, so if I am angry, my anger will vent out to my kid. It
yeah,
happens. It happens
yeah,
actually.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's what we have also suffered in our childhood. That we even get scolded by our parents, and for no reasons, because they were ever angry for some other point of time, with some other thing,
yeah,
and they went
yeah,
out their anger to us. So
yeah, yeah,
these kind of scenarios, these small things actually plays a major role in shaping a child's future and shaping a child's emotions also.
yeah,
So
yeah,
these kind of stuff happens with me. So I would say I'm also one of you only, but now
yeah,
somehow with the practice, with a lot of paying
yeah,
attention to the things that I'm dealing with it, so I've improved a lot. And definitely, if everybody, if we all start paying attention to that, we will also see the difference. And all these things, because see, we can't avoid going out in public. We have to
yeah,
act.
yeah, 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 yeah,
We are not living in today's world when we are on social media all the time. So
yeah.
definitely we can't avoid our interactions. We can't do that. And this is also a fact that no one is coming to save us.
Yeah, no one's coming to save.
No
That's
one is
exactly true.
coming to
You got to
save us.
do it yourself. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. Yeah, yeah, and
Like,
that's something that I'm a big advocate for. So it's interesting to hear you say that, because there's no knight in shining armor that's going to come and take you away and help you, is there? You got to take responsibility for your own life and be the
yes.
best version you can be. Is
The
it?
sooner you take, the better you are. And
Yeah,
that's the whole idea behind it. But definitely, it's never late than never. Never
yeah,
late. है ना? So basically, that's the whole thing, that no one is coming to save you. Get this point very clear and start acting on it.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. And it's also good to hear you say that, even with your awareness and with your training and with the practicing the techniques that you do, you still fall short every now and again. Like, I noticed even myself, like, I've been doing mental health work now for about 5 years, and even yesterday, like, for a reason that was not really anyone's fault, I was just really cranky. And then, like you say, you project it on your loved ones, or you project it on your partner, and that's what I even did yesterday. So I can
okay.
relate to some of the things that you're saying, and it's just trying to understand where that crankiness or where that angriness or where that feeling's coming from, and trying to deal with it appropriately. Because putting that anger, like you say, on your kids, or on something that's undeserving of it, I
Yeah.
suppose,
It
is
will lead to other arguments. With the
yeah,
spouse, it
yeah,
leads to other
yeah,
level
yeah,
of argument. It
yeah,
becomes so
yeah,
tough.
yeah, yeah. That's right. So,
And
and
one more thing, Trevor, see, I
yeah,
think we have always said that anger is negative. See, I believe that anger is nothing is negative. It's good you're having stress. It's good you're having anxiety. It's good you're having some sort of anger. It shows that you are something is inside you. Obviously, you're a human being. You will get that emotion. You can't
yeah,
avoid that. So
yeah,
if
yeah,
somebody says that ki, anger is not good, stress is not good, please, it is not. It is good to some extent,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah.
But this is a part and parcel of being a human.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's right. Emotion, and they talk about performance, um, a performance curve where you want to um, be stressed out to a point to get a good outcome, but you don't want to be stressed too much that you burn out and you can't achieve that anywhere. So there's like a graph I've seen where the sweet spot for stress and for performance, I suppose, and just trying to get into that optimal spot.
Yeah. So you're saying that the stress and the anxiety thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's a stress curve and some performance. So if you do nothing, then you're not going to achieve anything, and you're not going to be stressed. But if you have a goal, or something, you
Mm-hmm.
want to achieve something, so your stress levels, and you want to get it to an optimal point where you're not burning out, but you're stressed enough to take steps into creating that
I
outcome for
think
yourself.
in my case, what I feel stress is a pushing mechanism to me. So
Yeah,
this happens like if I'm in stress, that means my body is alerting to me that something is not right. You need
yeah,
to work upon it, and
yeah,
that's what it is. The stress is, and
yeah,
so anxiety also comes from that. But the point is, we have to understand why I'm feeling that stress, where it is coming from, and what
yeah,
thought has led me to this stress, and can I do something about it? So
yeah, yeah,
generally, what happens is when people they put it as stress to the things which are not in their control.
yeah,
If
yeah, yeah,
somebody is coming and saying to me that you are not good enough this in work, so
yeah,
it doesn't make me as a bad person. It's okay.
yeah.
Not everybody is perfect,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah, 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 and what you control and what you can't control, because obviously you're going to get cranky or angry over circumstances you can't control. Especially, I don't know whether it was like in India, but here in Australia, COVID and that with all the mandates and lockdowns and forced vaccinations and that on people that are sort of out of their control because they're like health mandates or whatever for people, and that created a lot of anxiety and stress, and that was outside of people's control, which caused a lot of anger and problems, here, because if it's out of your control, you've got to accept that some things are out of your control and just work on things that you can control. And like you say, you can control your
Exactly.
emotions and how you react, But yeah, no, that's very wise
Exactly. I
words.
mean, the point is this in my control? If yes, then do something about it. If not, then why to take stress about
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
ultimately, believe me, nobody is perfect. We
yeah,
all are just trying our best to we can do it.
yeah, yeah. Live
Okay.
life. Yeah, yeah. No, that's amazing. Yeah, no, and that's great. So I'm hearing Shilpa is you're very passionate about understanding emotions, about practicing um, practicing empowerment to understand emotional health and strategies to stay in the here and the now and in the present to create optimal outcomes, and you're sharing your story with other people and hoping that each individual can take some personal responsibility and create better outcomes in lives, creating a better society for everyone. It sounds like that's sort of who you are and what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
No worries. Well, thank you very much for sharing a few minutes with us today. I appreciate your time. Have you got any final words for anyone before we go?
Uh, yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, sure. So, Trevor, I think we all, when we talk about when we talk about this self-love thing, we should all start loving ourselves first. And my final thing is ki it's not selfish to do self-love. And if you do self-love and understanding our emotions, it is the first, as a human, it is our first job. It's our first priority to give our emotions the a priority to us. So, and it doesn't take a lot of work. And if we and believe me, we all are trying our best. We all are in the same place. We all are going through the same emotions all the time. And it's if we take consider of our emotion, take charge of our emotional health, we are not taking care of ourselves, but people around us also.
yeah,
So if that's the thing, that if we take care of emotions, the people are we take care of the people around us, the people who connect to us, the people who work with us, and it's
yeah,
bring a long and it creates a lot of good impact on the people.
yeah,
So it's so let's so I think we should start taking this in a positive way and talk about it more. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. There was actually. It's interesting that you should say that. I just add this because we were talking about in a men's group actually. Have you heard this impression? It's like goodwill chips. So when you turn towards your partner or you're doing good things or you're helping out when you need it or whatever, you get goodwill chips put in your jar. And then when you do make a mistake or you're emotionally uncharged or whatever, then the more chips you got in your jar, the more forgiving your partner or your family will be, because it gives you
Yeah.
some
See, if
credit. You know
your
what I mean?
cup is not full, how will you fill the other person's cup?
Yeah,
If
yeah,
your cup
yeah,
is broken and
yeah,
it's leaking, how can you fill the other person's cup?
yeah,
So
yeah. No, that's great.
definitely that is the thing that the
Yeah, yeah.
leaking the good chips comes in, but you have this happens actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They reckon you need at least five good chips for every one bad chip that you throw out there. So you try and get there. the ratio right. No worries. No worries. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, and maybe we can catch up in the future and touch base again one day. But I'd just like to thank you for your perspective and your amazing passion towards mental health and regulating emotions. And I'd like to thank you very much for sharing that
Thank
with
you,
us today.
Trevor. Thank you for having me. It was lovely
No,
talking to you.
no
Thanks.
worries. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.